No worries. All right. Thank you, everyone. Welcome to the call. I got introduced to this company. Actually, it was in April of 2020, and as Jane was talking about, I was really impressed with how clean and innovative and forward-thinking the company is. And so I eventually met Aaron, and he's our team leader. He's our leader, and he's an amazing guy. He's actually been with the company for 8 years. This is his second network marketing company. So almost 20 years in network marketing. And so he's a professional network marketing professional who's done really well in the industry. His first company left him. He didn't leave the company. But then when he sought out another opportunity, he wanted to make sure he was with the right company, and he found this company, and that kind of checked all the boxes. And so since then, he's been phenomenal as a leader and as a builder. Now, he is beyond just a great entrepreneur, but he's also a great person. As Jane was mentioning, he does a lot with kids, underprivileged kids on his ranch. And so he's a wonderful person with integrity, and I'm honored to present him here and have him share with you guys this great opportunity with the platform, and then also with the RX networking piece of it. So Aaron, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you so much, you guys. And I apologize so much to you that one, I was a little bit late because I was on a phone call, and then I struggled for a password. So my bad. I apologize. I respect all of your time. Raj, thanks for the intro. I showed up just for that. No, I'm just kidding. Guys, I tell you what, I'm not a hype guy, but I'm extremely excited. And wherever you're at, whatever you're interested in, by the time I'm done sharing with you, for some of you, if it really clicks, and this is just real, you're going to have a hard time sleeping. But we've got to look at what's going on in the world today and the shifts that are occurring, right? In things with technology. I mean, we're talking on Zoom. Like, how many people a year ago, maybe just networkers were kind of using it. Now everybody uses it. But our company, I'm going to describe two things to you tonight. The first that I'm going to talk about is a new platform, and I'm going to use the word revolutionary because it is. It's protected by over 22 patents right now. This isn't fluff. This is real. And I'm going to describe that platform. It's separate from the second piece, which is the network marketing, the traditional, but yet when you see how they're combining, you're going to start to see how an industry is changing. Does that make sense? I hope that it does. And then Vanessa, I'm also really excited to give you what I believe to be a very close calculation and example that really is going to get your mind flowing and going. Okay. So I want you to think about Amazon just for a moment. Like them, don't like them, insignificant. Here's a guy had an idea, brought a few companies together, started shipping some products, a few more companies, and built it into what it is today. How many of you know somebody that has bought something online here in the last, week or two? Probably all of us, right? Direct to consumer, it's just what we're conditioned to do now. But how many of you, for purchasing that product and maybe sharing with a friend that you like that product, got paid? This app is going to solve that problem in spades. So what you're going to be able to do is this. You will get access to the platform when somebody starts a campaign. Here's how you start a campaign. So let's just say I'm going to use Vanessa because she's in the middle of my screen. And Vanessa loves this water bottle. So she buys this water bottle. Now keep in mind, Vanessa right now is not in the network marketing. She just had access to this and bought this right through that platform. The platform is free. You don't sign up for it. You don't need a social security number for it. You need nothing. Free to use, free to share, free to earn. Vanessa starts a campaign. Here's what you have to do. Whatever you're going to promote, you must purchase. That starts that chain or that campaign. So Vanessa buys this water bottle. She loves this water bottle. And it really does have a really cool filter in there. It filters out all the harmful bacteria and all the fluorides, everything, right? I'm drinking E. coli river water through this. I'm drinking toilet water, literally, right? Like, I mean, it's a really cool filter. That was a pretty good commercial, wasn't it? What if I then posted, or in this case, Vanessa posts this. She's like, she's in a river and she's like, man, great water. You need one of these things. Click here, get paid back $5 when you purchase. And Stacy, you see that, you're like, hey, that looks like a cool water bottle. Now, here's what happened. When Vanessa bought the bottle, that purchase occurred. The app only takes care of the financial transaction. The water bottle comes from the company that made it, manufactured it, distributes it. Make sense? So the app is not in the distribution. Amazon, I know they eventually got there, but Amazon is a connector for the most part. At least that's how they started. So the app made the financial transaction. It pays the company the money the company wanted. So the wholesale market that the company wanted, they get paid. But there's a wholesale to retail margin that they gave to the app platform that they're going to share with all of us. So Vanessa shares it. Stacy clicks on it. She buys it. Vanessa makes $5. Cool. Stacy, you might have, well, actually, Stacy, you made $5. Vanessa makes $2.50. Stacy, are you okay with that? Sure. Vanessa, are you okay with that? Sure. But now, Stacy, you're like, when you paid for it, it popped up and said, Stacy, if you'd like to take this link and share it and make a post through your social media, we're going to pay you $2.50 for everybody in your social network that buys that water bottle. Do you want to make some money, Stacy? Of course. So she sends it out. So Vanessa, everybody that you send it out to, that's kind of your first wave. So whether it's one person or 1,000 people that buy that water bottle off your post, you're making that 250, 250, 250, 250, 250, 250. When they share it, that's your second wave. They're making the 250, you're making 125 per. When those people on the third wave share it, they make the 250, Stacy's 125, you're half of 125, which is, what is half? It's about 62 cents per. When that wave shares it, and here's what it does, it shares it all the way out and tracks back to Vanessa all the way down to 1 penny. And Stacy, it goes from you and it goes out all the way back to 1 penny. I know what you're thinking. 1 penny? That's pittance. No, it's not. I'm going to show you some math here in a minute that will go like that. Okay. So that's how the app will work. And what we'll be attracting is companies both that you've heard of, name brand, and some that aren't name brand. So if you guys are familiar with network marketing, usually you and I only get to market products inside that network marketing box, if you will. Whatever those companies make or manufacture, that's what we sell. And they have to have margins typically between a 6 and a 10x. Does that make sense? So Vanessa might have a product. She's like, man, this is the best water bottle. And you take it to your network marketing company and say, if you just market this, and they say, well, there's not enough margin. But you're thinking, if you do and I can get 10 cents a piece, I'm going to get rich. Well, now with this platform, guys, we're going to have the ability to take companies over here. Companies can use this platform. It doesn't cost them anything. And the margins don't matter because whatever they're willing to give up, you and I have access to market it, and the app pays out the cash. By the way, that cash will be paid to you basically in real time. As soon as those credit cards clear, your commissions is dumped into that app, which then you can put in your savings account, your checking account. You can put it on a PayPal account. You can keep it in the app and spend it on other stores that you have access to. It's your money. You direct it where you want it to go. Fair enough? Okay. If you're with me on that, now I'm going to, by the way, somebody has to generate that campaign for that product or service. Notice I said product or service. There is no limits to where this can go or what this can market. The only limit is the company that wants to be a part of this is they're going to have obviously an online presence with what's called an API so the computers can talk together. I'm not getting into technical, but that's that side of the equation. But now watch, here's where it gets fun. For some of the company's products and services. Now, this is something that I'm going to get clarification on next week because I've heard a couple different scenarios. In one case, I heard it's going to be select companies. In another case, I heard it's going to be the majority of companies. So I'm going to say it's going to be somewhere in between, but it doesn't matter. If you're over here on the network marketing side, which if you've got a position, right now you can get a position. You only need a first and last name, which most of you probably qualify for that. And I'm not being ugly, right? An email address and a phone number. You can get a position in this tree. It costs you nothing. You don't even have to make a decision if you want to wait until we launch the official app, which should be somewhere around April-ish. Okay? At that time, you'll have a choice. Do I want to participate in this revenue stream as well in the network marketing side? I'm going to build a very strong case for that in a moment with a real life example. But over here, what's going to happen is we'll use this water bottle. Vanessa was getting $2.50, $2.50, and then $1.25, $1.25, and then 62 cents, 62 cents, then 31 cents, 31 cents, and then 15 cents, 15 cents, and then 7 cents, 7 cents, then 3 cents, 3 cents, and then a penny. But see, all of that also carries volume that was flowing back through Raj's network marketing tree, where he's getting paid through the network marketing compensation plan, which happens to pay out an industry high 50%. So Vanessa might not have even been in the network marketing side, but she was actually marketing for Raj. She's making cash through the app. She doesn't care. Raj is making cash through the app, plus he's getting paid on the back end through the network marketing model. Does that make sense? For the first time in the history of our industry, you and I are going to be able to get compensated on retail products that are in retail spaces from sometimes name brand companies that are outside the traditional box of what we traditionally get to offer in our respective company. You guys, I'm going to give you an example, and this example is, in my opinion, I think it's probably spot on, but you can't hold me to this, but it's going to be really close to what I'm going to give you right now. Okay. The numbers should be really close. The product is a real product, and the company's a real company that will be part of that platform. So do any of you, and I know there's a lot of you on here. I'm sorry. I can't see Peter, although his audio is still trying to load. I see Stacy, and I see Jane, and I see Vanessa and Raj. So the rest of you, I'm going to just ask you to participate. Do any of you know anybody that drinks alcohol? Okay. There is a product. My wife used to work at a world-renowned healing center, and years ago, somebody said, hey, we stumbled across when we were trying to do something else. We came up with this product, and I personally had people test this for the last several years. It was going to be offered by our company, but the numbers just couldn't work out because we'd have had to charge way too much. And I'll tell you that in a minute. And what this product does is it does three key things. One, if you are intoxicated, it helps, once you drink it, it helps to literally clear your mind. So it's like a clarity product. So you can start to think a lot clearer in a relatively short amount of time. Two, it helps the body metabolize the alcohol at about twice or more the body's natural rate to do it, which then does number three, which mitigates or eliminates, in every case that I tried it with people, a hangover. Okay. Do you know anybody that might want to try that product? I can tell you this, it's very easily demonstratable. I've got videos that I can show you. One of Jane's friends, I literally got her like completely annihilated drunk. She drank an entire bottle of champagne plus a drink. She's a little bitty girl. She's a personal trainer in an hour. She was literally seeing double, slurring drunk. She blew a .17 in a breathalyzer. She was wasted. She then drank this, what I'm telling you about. I've got it all on video, Within 15 minutes, she stopped seeing double and she started to talk a lot more clear and had a lot more of her cognitive functions back. She was not sober. I'm not sober. She was just clearly thinking it clears your head. Within 60 minutes, we dropped her from a 0.17 to a 0.12, which is almost impossible for the body to do by itself. But here's the bigger magic. And again, I got a video of this. In a 0.12, most people are still very intoxicated. She was talking as calmly and as clearly as I'm talking to you right now. And she was mentioning how she's like, I don't remember. Now, this was only 60 minutes earlier. I don't remember when you gave me that stuff, but right now I feel confident, comfortable. I mean, I can walk. I know that I'm still too intoxicated to drive, but if I had to, I could. Okay. So I'm not advocating drinking and driving. So don't get that wrong. But she woke up. She's a personal, by the way, it was 11:30 at night. She woke up at 5 a.m. because she's a personal trainer. She trained all day long with 0 side effects of the alcohol. Okay. So that product, when we were going to have to sell that through the network marketing traditional model, it was going to have to be about $24 a dose, which, by the way, everybody I showed the videos to were willing to buy it because they spend more than that on alcohol and they'd pay any amount of money to not have a hangover. So, and again, if you're not a drinker, that's fine. I'm not either, but I know a lot of people that are. Sorry, these are my wife's glasses. I can't see. I apologize, but you know, it is what it is. I still refuse to have real glasses. I'm going to read you what I believe to be very accurate math. Okay. And by the way, that company sells that product for not $24 a dose, but $6 a dose. So let's say that we sold that little product in a 4-pack for $24. Does that make sense? Most people have no problem. Most people would, okay. Now, and again, I apologize. I can only see a few of you, but Vanessa, I can see you. Would it be reasonable? And I want you to shake your head. Absolutely not if you think this is not reasonable. But would it be reasonable for somebody that has even a mediocre size following on Facebook, Instagram, social media, to think that if you made a compelling video of that product and they could buy that product and maybe even get a little kickback for $24, if you put it out there, would it be reasonable for me to think that at least 5 people would probably purchase that at $24? Is that pretty reasonable? Just 5. Okay. Now we're just, because we got to have an example. So I'm going to use the example that Vanessa shares it with all of her social media platform and only 5 purchase that product. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take those 5, they share it. And I don't care. Again, if they might have 1 million followers, we're still only going to say only 5 purchase that product. And we're going to do that with real math, real numbers. Here's what it looks like. The first 5 people, and I'm going to call it the first wave of people that you shared it with. So only 5 bought. You made a whopping $12.50. Woohoo! But hey, you got half of your product purchased back. Those 5 share it, and out of all of their social media, only 5 each bought $24. You now made a whopping $31.25. But then that third wave shares it. You're only making 62 cents per, but it's $77.50. That wave shares it. You're only making 31 cents per, but that's another $193.75. They share it. You're now only making, Vanessa, only 15 cents a piece. But you made $468 if just 5 people out of all their social media purchased that product for $24. They share it. You're now only making 7 cents a piece, but because they shared it and 5 people purchased each, $1,093. They share it. You're down to 3 cents a piece. Only 3 cents. $2,343 was dumped into your app account. And then they shared it. That would be the 8th wave. You're down to 1 penny. Pittance. But it adds up to $3,906 for a grand total. If only 5 shared it and got 5, shared it and got 5. And again, this is not joining a network marketing company. This is not signing up for an auto ship. This is purchasing one product for $24 one time. and nobody else did anything. Just 8 waves went out, 5, 5, 5. You made a grand total of $8,123 through your app. That cost you nothing to do except for you started and you bought $24 worth of that product one time. Does that make sense? Okay. That's how that app would work. Now, when the 8th wave shares it, guess what? Sorry, it's out of your money. Not theirs, but it's out of yours. But here's where the little network marketing side of this equation comes in, Vanessa, because if you happen to be in the network marketing side of it, and you were here and you had a position, there's also an additional 16,255 volume points that flowed through all of those purchases through your compensation plan over here. And with our compensation plan, and I'm using the lowest common denominator without bonuses, just the base commission would be an additional $2,438. My question to you is, to qualify over here, you would have bought or sold $150 worth of our products, which we have about 14 brands of products that you can choose from, all high quality, very easy to buy or sell from. Would you spend $150 over here and start this campaign over here to make $8,000 through the app and an additional $2,000 through your network marketing business? Yes or no? Here's where it gets more fun. And again, this is an impossible analogy because 5 aren't going to stop and 5 aren't going to stop. But let's say your first 8 waves all stopped, but the 8th wave shared with the 9th wave, so they're making money, but nobody else between you and 8 waves is sharing anymore. But if you're in the network marketing model and they keep sharing, all of that volume keeps flowing back through you, and now you're at a very low estimate, an extra $2,500 a week. Do you want to be in the network marketing side? Do you want to be in the platform side? Or do you want to be in both? And that's the decision people can make. We're not even forcing you to make that decision right now. For me, even just with simple math, it makes a lot of sense. It gets better than what I'm sharing with you. For the first time, and I'm gonna give the credit to Raj because he rattled off some numbers earlier today, and I know some back end numbers, who has to have what and how they're gonna split stuff up. And I'm gonna tell you that I'm 90% of what I just described should be complete. I mean, I think it's more than 90%, but I want to be cautious. I will verify and clarify that next week. But I'm gonna be really close to the numbers that I just shared with you. I firmly believe that it's ridiculous for me to think that Jane, through her social network, would only have 5 people purchase that product. That's ridiculous. I think Jane, in fact, I asked her this question, and Jane, what did you tell me that you believed if you made a post about that product you would get?
Oh, I said way more than that. I said 100, and then I thought, wait a minute, probably a lot more than that, and I couldn't even comprehend that.
So again, you guys, I'm not even asking you to think like 100 people do it. I'm going, you know what? We could actually cut those numbers in half. Let's say only 2.5 people bought, and then they got 2.5 people to buy. We can cut all my numbers in half, and you did that campaign and you only made $4,000 through the app and an extra $1,200 through the network marketing model. Is that good enough? Guys, that's one campaign of one product that we just went minuscule. That's not counting anything that's going on over here. That's not counting a team that's promoting anything over here. That's not counting you hitting a social influencer that goes crazy over there that has 1,000 people that buy that product. That was us using 2 simple analogies, 5 that get 5 or 2.5 that get 2.5. I know there's no half of people, but you guys get my meaning. That's why we are excited. And that will change our industry forever. You're going to have access to analytics through that app. So now, Vanessa, check this out. You're going to go down and you see somebody on your 7th wave. Let's say Stacy's on your 7th wave and she's crushing it. She's making money. You're going to be able to have access to her profile through social media. You can reach out to her and say, Stacy, I see that you're making a bunch of money through the app. You do know that you're leaving thousands on the table. I'd love to show you how to make that money. Is it going to be very hard for me to recruit Stacy into making thousands of dollars more for the same thing that she's currently doing? Stacy, would it be reasonable for me to think that you might be willing to invest a little bit of money in product to get a position in the network marketing side, maybe $150 a month, to have access to hundreds or thousands extra? Isn't that kind of all reasonable to think that most people that think logically, that understand that our world's going to direct to consumer social selling, and we're totally flipping the traditional network marketing company upside down and on its head, and nobody will be able to touch us because we are the only company in the world that will have access to this technology in our industry? That's what we got our hands on. And so all you have to do, say, hey, put me in, coach, just get me a spot, get me a spot, get me a spot. For those of you that want to kind of start early and learn more about our company, we're going to be doing a Zoom, and I'll actually do a presentation, go through some of our quality products, a little bit about our business, how our comp plan works, because it truly is very, very, very unique. It's the only comp plan that I know that you could get lucky, sponsor one person and still make a 6-figure plus income with a one-legged business.
Eric, can we talk a little bit more about that? Because everyone on the call is pretty much a network marketer.
Okay.
So they're all in. So
Okay.
consider everyone is on the call is pretty much in.
I wish I'd have had it set up for a presentation. All right. So I apologize because I am not prepared to show you a slideshow. So I'm going to have to do it through this. Okay. Through props. All right. So there's a couple unique things about our company. Let me just start with number one. So if you guys are network marketers, in one, I respect you immensely. Two, I'm not trying to kill your dream from whatever you're currently business or building, but I would ask you to step outside just for a moment. And one thing that I firmly believe, that our industry as we know it, that you and I have been building for the last 70 years, now I haven't been building it for 70, but it's been traditionally the same. My product's better than yours. My comp plan's better than yours. And by the way, I got a great owner. And we've tried to put lipstick on the pig, so to speak, different times, but it's basically boiled down to that. And then we get hybrids and all these different comp plans, but they're either a binary, a unilevel, or a matrix, or some type of mixture. Well, our company has done some unique things out of the gate. By the way, we are a publicly traded company, which I happen to like because you can invest in the company that you're building. By the way, you'll also be able to earn shares through building your business. Right now, honestly, so check this out. Digress just for a moment, but pretty cool stuff. We're doing a simple weight loss challenge, right? Every company does weight loss challenges this time of year. We got some really cool, unique products. One's the homeopathic product. We don't believe in diets. We believe in lifestyle changes, and these products literally work. Fantastic. Jay and I, we worked with hundreds and hundreds of people, tremendous results. But do you know that it's not just $1,000 cash and $1,000 worth of this makeover for first place, but 1,000 shares of our company's stock? So you go out, you compete in this 8-week weight loss challenge, which anybody can do at any time. You win. You get 1,000 cash, 1,000. They do these little makeovers for you can have this really cool makeover, but 1,000 shares of our company's stock. That stock today closed at roughly $2.90. So that's about $2,900 as it sits today. I'm predicting myself, so I'm not trying to get you, I'm not trying to entice you. There's a really good chance that our stock will be trading somewhere between 8 and 10 by the end of the year. But it's very reasonable for me to think that it should be $30 to $50 a share within the next 10 years. I think it'll be more, but I'm being very conservative. So you literally could go win a weight loss challenge, and not even be in our company, just be a customer, just participate. You bought some products and here you go. And win 1,000 shares of company stock and potentially make $10, $20, $50, $100,000 because you won. Do you know that we're going to do stuff when you're building your business here? You earn shares while you're earning money, and it's just extra incentive. So that's one thing. But back to network marketers. Have you, and you don't have to raise your hand because I was guilty of this. I didn't in my first company. How many of you have actually took out your policies and procedures and read it? If you hadn't, I suggest and only look for 3 things. Just 3. Number 1, I don't know of any person in their right mind in a traditional business that would ever sign a contract that says that the company has the rules or the partner has the rules or the right to change the rules, and you got to abide by the new rules that you don't know what they're going to be. And you have no recourse. You just got to abide by the new rules. Every policy and procedures I've ever read, it says that the company reserves the right to change the policies and procedures. And a lot of them say by cashing your next check, that's an acceptance. One company I read, it said by logging into your back office, that's an acceptance of the new policies and procedures. Like, that's crazy. Number two, look for this one. Do they have verbiage in there, which almost every company does? They reserve the right to go retail with the products that you're out marketing. Avon did it. Advocare just a couple years ago did it. And then your owner's going to say, and you might have a great owner, and they're going to say, oh, I would never exercise that right. And maybe your owner's being truthful. But what about the person that comes in and replaces them when they die or retire? And they say, oh, they wouldn't do that. Well, why is it in writing? Oh, it's just part of the contract. No, it's in there because you want it out. Otherwise, you take it out. And then the last thing that I suggest you look for, what is the verbiage for them to terminate you as a potential top earner or even just any kind of earner? If there's no verbiage that protects your business and gives you some kind of process of recourse, how on earth can you and I go? Now, if you're just dabbling and you're just hoping that it works and don't really care, that's one thing. I do this solely for my living. I can't afford to have a company say, you know what, we're gonna go retail. You know what, we're gonna terminate you. You're making too much money, and we know that you can't fight us because we're gonna cut off your paycheck. Guys, it happens all the time in our industry. Our company has a what's called a Bill of Rights. It literally is a legal binding document. It just went through a reverse merger and it's stuck in place. Okay, so that was huge. We are not a particular company. I know that a lot of us in network marketing, it was the old KISS model. Keep it simple, right? We only wanted one or two products. We needed a very easy to explain comp plan. Here's the problem. Name me one company that's been around longer than 10 years that has one product that has a binary or a very simple comp plan. Because I can name you a dozen of what I just described that hit almost $1 billion that are not here today. And if you and I are going to go create a residual income, how can we create a residual income with a company that doesn't exist anymore? I don't care how much you made. I got friends in Visalis that made $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $80,000 a month. Guess what? Some of them today are broke. I've got friends in Noni that were making, or Mona V that were making all kinds of money, and today they're broke. I got a friend that was making $35,000 a month in Zango. Remember that one? And today he's an older guy living with his parents because he's broke. So a one simple model, I've never seen them stand the test of time. But look at the world we live in today. I'll just use Starbucks. Does Starbucks only sell black coffee? Of course not. Stand in line sometime. And I don't drink coffee, but I meet a lot of people at Starbucks and I'm listening. And people are like, and if this is you, please don't take offense to this, but I want venti, caramel, mocha, schmocha with skim milk, 2%, and please put butterscotch on top with whipped cream. And what's your name, sir? Okay, you got to put my name on it. Here's what I'm talking about. We've been conditioned to us as a society, we want options, and we want personalized options. Why does Amazon sell everything? Because they want to sell you what you want to buy. So why would I be in a network marketing company that has only a select amount of products that I have to convince somebody to buy what I sell? Wouldn't you rather have a company that has a broad spectrum of products in different categories so people can simply go, oh, yeah, skincare, I buy that anyway. Yours is cleaner and better. I'm going to buy it through myself. Oh, yeah, liquid nutrition. I like, by the way, if you remember Noni, we've got the original Noni. If you want that liquid nutrition, we've got a liquid nutrition called MOA. It's 36 superfoods. You want that one? Bill, you want the Fucoiden drink from Limu? Oh, we've got that liquid nutrition. See, you can pick what you want, what fits you and your needs. Okay, it's a much easier then to fulfill either my personal volume, which is $150 worth of products that I buy, or I just go get customers to do that, and that fulfills it. So I don't even have to spend any money, but it's kind of crazy not to buy through yourself, right? Keep in mind, I'm describing this without the platform. This is just what we've got. Guys, we've got all kinds of different brands, categories of products, and you can pick and choose. You want a diverse group. Listen, I might not want to do skincare, but Jane might love our skincare, which she happens to love. Jane goes and promotes to Bill. Bill says, I don't want to do anything with skincare, but man, I love those energy drinks. And dude, those water bottles, all of my friends want them. Do you see what starts to happen? And then our pay structure, if every single one of you, it looks like there's 50 plus on here, we're all in different network marketing companies currently, and you all had different teams. All different. I don't care if it was a party plan. I don't care if it was a unilevel binary matrix. I don't care what kind of structure you had. Our compensation plan is the only one in the world where I could take your exact organization, rank and file without disrupting any genealogy, inject it into ours. And in most cases, most of you would make 30 to 60% more than you're currently making on the exact same volume that you're putting through your business right now. Here's one last thing I'll share about the comp plan. So if most of you are familiar with you know what? I don't care what comp plan. I'm going to give you an analogy. I'm actually going to, let's see if I can do this. I'm going to do like the Hollywood Squares. Okay, I can see more of you now. Hey, Renee, how are you? I can see people now. Okay, so I'm going to give you an analogy. If you're currently in a company, and again, I'm not knocking your company, you guys. I'm just saying that the industry is going to change with or without you and I. And this is a company that's leading the way in changing the industry, because our old industry, I personally don't believe will exist 5 years from now. There's just too much stuff coming down from governments, rules, and regulations. And the new generation, that Generation Z and those youngers, they're not going to do what some of us have done for years. They want to post something online, set their phone down, and get paid. Okay. Here's an example. Is it Lori? Lori Lambert. I'm going to use you because I can see you. Hey, Lori, nice to meet you. So Lori, let's say that you started, I don't care, pick the company. You started a network marketing company. I don't care what it costs to start. I don't care what it costs to qualify. And you personally found 4 people that you enrolled in your first month. And for this example, let's say we're in a binary. And let's just say that you put the first 2 people on your line 1 and the second 2 people on your line 2. And that started to grow. And lo and behold, one person over here quit, and both these people quit. In fact, everybody over here quit. So the only thing that you had left is one person. You sponsored them, but that one person was Jane Boland, and Jane was out making, I'm going to give you a real life example, over $1 million a year. Okay. So you found Jane. Jane's in your business. It doesn't matter how deep she was. She's the only person left. You got a one-legged business. That person's making $1 million a year. How much money in your current or any company's compensation plan would you still be making? All you guys that I see, just hold up how much that would be. You got one person active, one leg. I can tell you, almost everyone out there, it would be 0. I can tell you factually, in ours, you would be making a multiple 6-figure income. And the only thing that you would have to do to qualify for that is either buy or sell $150 worth of our quality products once every 4 weeks. That is a non-disputable, non-debatable fact. We don't have a pay structure that keeps you out of the money. We have a pay structure designed to keep you in the money. Even if you got lucky, you created your luck by finding somebody passed you. Listen, my sponsor, I'm blessed. We make way more than my sponsor. My sponsor makes, he'll make over a 6-figure income from last year off of what we did. Even if, now he has more people on his business, but even if everybody else in his business quit, he still gets that money. As long as he has a customer, and that customer can be him or somebody else, spending approximately $150 once every 4 weeks. That's it. So you take that, you marry it with what I explained earlier. You mesh the two together. Now, here's the last thing that I'll say. What is the hardest thing in our industry as far as network marketers? we find people that either want to be entrepreneurs, are traditional entrepreneurs, or have never been an entrepreneur. They get started, and by the time they make that decision, they start to hope, they start to dream, they get excited, they went through whatever process they went through. Some of us make a snap decision, some of us take months to make a decision, but it seems to be once we make that decision, I don't know, something inside us thinks that everybody we share it with should make an immediate decision because we made a decision. And you go to your friends, you go to your family, and you're excited, and you're like, I've got this stuff, and you can get started, and I want you on my team. And they say no. And what happens? You're like, oh my gosh. And then you've got a great upline like Raj, and he's like, you can do it, go do it again. And so then you go to Uncle Fred, and Uncle Fred says no. And you're feeling defeated. And so you go to somebody else, and they say no. And about the sixth or seventh person, the majority of people say, you know what, Lori, this just isn't for me. And then in the industry, the gurus and all the great trainers, they say, listen, go for no, stay in it long enough. If you go through enough no's, you can get a yes. And then the average is if you get 9 no's, you're going to get 1 yes. Here's what this platform is going to do for you and I. It's going to flip all of that on its head, because now, Lori, I go share it with 10 people. And 9 of them say, I don't want to do the network marketing thing, but boy, that social media thing looks good. How can I get connected to that? And you connect Vanessa because she wants a water bottle. And you go to bed at night thinking, man, nobody signed up my network marketing model. But Vanessa has thousands of people on social media. I wonder how many people are going to buy it. I'm going to get $2.50, $2.50, $2.50, $2.50, $1.25, $1.25, $1.25, $1.25, $62, $62, $62, $62, $31, $31, $31, $31, $15, $15, $15, $15, $7, $7, $7, right? Do you follow what I'm saying? What it does is it allows you and I to go positively sort through people. And then all of a sudden that chain starts through Vanessa. And now you see that Jane is on her 7th wave and Jane is crushing it. And you reach out to Jane and say, hey, Jane, I see you made $700 this week selling water bottles. You do know that there was another $200 or $300 that you could have made if you wanted to do this other part. I didn't know there was another part. Is Jane going to probably say yes or no? She's probably going to say yes, because why wouldn't Jane spend a little money to get in the network marketing side so she can capitalize and make the network marketing money, because she's already doing the work? Does that make sense? Guys, this is something that is, it just, again, I'm talking about fact. This is going to change our industry. But here's what it does with how the old model is. Do you see, do you see, I can't see, but do you see? Okay, so let's just say, using my original analogy that I started from, okay? I'm gonna go quick. So Lori started this water bottle chain. Vanessa carried it forward with the analogy that I gave you. Lori's in the network marketing side. Lori just got through that chain about 400,000 customers. Do you think that there's any government agency that would say, well, that's a pyramid. That's a scam. You're just a recruiting machine. Nope. Because Lori has all these customers that are not even in her organization, that only bought a product, that got a little kickback, that made a little bit of money. And we go, holy cow, nobody can touch what we're doing. And we can do it where? Well, eventually globally. Our company's already in 75 markets around the world. I know Japan's already looking at it. I know the Chinese are excited about it. I know the Europeans are excited about it. I know that in 6 months, if you guys know anybody in Africa, I can tell you what, Africa is going to be massive. We're going to be launching it within about 6 months. And this becomes, not to use this in a flippant way like a lot of companies do, because I know people that do it, but in a realistic way, this becomes the Uber, this becomes the Airbnb, this becomes the Amazon of this industry. And this industry now has changed forever because people can't catch what we're doing, because this technology over here is protected 22 different ways. and with patents like you can't even believe. The patent attorney actually would not accept any cash. This will be ultimately a publicly traded company. The company on this side that you're going to build is a publicly traded company, and you and I can participate in four minimum income streams doing one activity. That's why we're excited. That's why we're asking you guys to share this. We'll do Zooms. Raj, hopefully maybe this is recorded and people can use this if they want to. As we know more, which should be next week, as soon as we can do PowerPoints and show you actual pictures of this, I can tell you that we should be going into beta testing first part of February. The planned rollout is April. Selfishly, I hope that they have to tweak a few things and we push it out to May, maybe even June. And I say that selfishly because I love the pre-launch, because that gives all of us first mover advantage, because I firmly believe when this gets out to the masses that are in our company and everybody starts to do what I'm doing, you're going to see Zooms with thousands and thousands of people on it. I mean, it's just going to happen quick because numbers don't lie. In a true revolutionary system is going to attract. I've talked to many professionals in our industry of network marketing. I've talked to many social influencers, and I've talked to many business-minded people. And you guys, when it clicks, they can't sleep. So I hope this is helpful. I hope this, Raj, was helpful for you. I hope I explained enough of the network marketing side, guys. We are a company that's been around now combined for 10 years. We did roughly about $580 million last year. Nobody in North America really has heard of who we are. We've got a good footprint, about 100 and I think it was 104 or 140 million came out of Europe last year. We got a great footprint in China. We actually have a Chinese license, which is impossible to get anymore because the government quit giving them out 2 years ago. And we keep expanding and growing. And we've got so many other things in the pipeline that are going to disrupt literally this industry and turn it upside down and make it so easy to share that as long as you got a phone, we truly are going to be a phone-based business.
So, Aaron, I am so excited, and exactly what you said. When I got off the Zoom last night, I could not sleep. I literally was up to about 3 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock, signing people up. And at 5 o'clock, my phone started again. And I am just so excited about this. It's true. When it clicks, when you really see the potential of this, it is enormous. So I personally want to say thank you so much for coming on. I know a lot of the people that we've signed up today are on here, and it just gave a really good overview. And I don't know how long you have available, but if maybe somebody has a question, if you would want to answer it.
I would answer any question to the best of my ability. So I'm going to tell you straight up, I don't have all the answers. I have some questions, but I gave you what I know, but I'm happy to field any questions if somebody has one. And then before I take questions, I will tell you this. Again, I get a training in a visual next week. And so we're going to be keeping you as informed as we get information. We're going to pass it right on to you immediately. And we're also going to be doing some trainings on what exists right now. So if some of you say, hey, I want to be going over here, I want to be getting involved in the network marketing side, so I'm really prepared to build my team, because let's face it, the bigger the team, the easier it is to have people sharing these links and these campaigns. But any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
I will say that I know that one of the main questions that we have, because we do have a lot of people that are signing up, my goal is to have 1,000 in a week. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So what we want to know is if we just are signing people in about placement, because I know I did watch a little bit of your video training.
Yes,
I didn't get to get through all of it, but how you say it can be lateral or binaries or whatever, but I guess that's where we kind of need a little vision with. Should we just put that we don't know where we want to put them, left or right, and just get them in under us, the sponsors?
Yeah, so here's the good and the bad, because there's the good and the bad, right? Because we're doing something that's not normal. We're doing a pre-launch with free enrollment in a company that's existed for 10 years where everybody else is having to pay. And so they've allowed us a little flexibility doing what we're doing. Okay. And so that being said, I'm going to tell you how I would normally structure, but if a couple things that clicked when I was going through these numbers, I'm going to come back, and this won't negatively affect anybody, but if I see a better way because of some things that I saw here, we will have the ability to restructure a little bit to maximize everybody. Does that make sense? Is that fair? Keep in mind, the greatest thing about our pay structure, the absolute greatest thing is it is designed for, if I'm the upline, there's not a place where I can put you that would lessen your income and make mine greater. In fact, it's designed where I need to stick you to maximize your income. So it takes the greediness out of it, if that makes any sense, which I love. Okay. But normally how I build is we start, because you can have, depending on how you start your business, and you guys know there's lots of companies that have different kind of levels when you start based on product packs that you buy or that you earn. Normally I start, because you have either 2 lines, 3 lines, 4 lines, or 5 lines wide of business that you can go build. Normally we say, hey, start to build 2 lines. And then as those start to grow, then you can go wide, or there's an opportunity to go deep. Right now, we're getting confusing to some of you. I understand. I promise you, when I know exactly how this is going to play out, I will go through and methodically make a video and explain different options and pros and cons of. There's really no con, but there might be a better way to build for some of you. But our pay structure allows us. I'll give you an example. So when I got started, I've got a line 1 of business that started to grow, and I've got a line 2 business that I started to grow. Jane was like the second person in my line, my second line. And Jane started to build, and she started to build her second line. I earned another reentry. I'm actually under Jane. So I'm her sponsor, but I'm under Jane, and I'm building a business below her that she got to benefit from, which helped her actually maximize some pay. But then Jane earned a reentry, and she's now under my second position. So I sponsored Jane. I'm under Jane. Now Jane's back under me. Pretty cool. We all get to work together. So now I'm not just Jane's upline. I'm actually in Jane's downline. Now I don't just benefit from Jane, but she gets to benefit from me. So there's some neat things that we get to do. But you could also go wide. You could say, hey, I'm going to build this line, and I'm going to build this line, and I'm going to go build this line. I would suggest, Vanessa, that originally you start to build a couple lines. How we always told people. Now, again, normally in my normal world, I would teach you, put your first 2 people at the bottom of line 1, then start to build your line 2. In this scenario, I would say put your first 5 to 10 people in line 1 and then start to build your line 2. Why? Because you're talking about free enrollment, and you want people that are going to be all in. So out of 5 or 10, I'm assuming 2 at least at minimum will want to participate. Does that make sense? Because I'd hate to tell you only put 2 and they say, you know what, it's not really for me. It would kind of really mess everybody up. So I would say somewhere 5 to 10 personals, and then we can either go wide, or you can just drive really deep. Because now here's another thing, very key. One of the main ways we get paid is called match pay. Some of you may have experienced that, but we don't have limitations. So you personally sponsor as many people as you can. You can drive them as deep as you want. And as they start to get 2 lines of business, that creates what we call base pay. And our company is going to match 15% of their base paycheck every week, but not just theirs. So Vanessa, let's just say that you put in 500 people personally. If they all had a base paycheck, okay, they're going to take all 500 of their base paychecks. They're going to take that number, no cap, no limit. And every Friday, they're going to match that by 15% and add it on your check. But if those 500 people just each got 2, so there's 1,000 people somewhere, and it doesn't matter where, line or level, they're going to take all 1,000 of their base paychecks, no cap, no limit. They're going to take that total number, match it by 10%, add it on your check every week. The people that they got, doesn't matter where they're at, they're going to take all of them, they're going to match their base paychecks, no cap, no limit, match it by 5%, add it on your check every week. And then you can qualify for another 5% through 7 levels. And that's compression. So if somebody quits, everybody moves up in your money. So they don't keep people out of your money. They pay you the money. Just in that one bonus alone, it'll blow your mind when you start to do the math. So personally sponsor, place, because it's not going to do you a disservice, and start and get 2 lines going really good, and then help everybody else start to do that. And then you can go wide or deep. And as we do that, if I come back next week and say, hey guys, guess what? It's not going to take near what I thought. We need to restructure. I will teach you how to restructure. And because we have the ability of a pre-launch to, now we're not going to move you around and mess you over, but we might move you around to maximize you. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's great. You know, another thing about the points, are the points infinite going down, like all the social media points and everything? If you've got like thousands of levels deep in your network marketing, do all those points roll up?
Yes, ma'am.
And do they ever flush away?
No, we got carryover. Here's what happens. So, and again, I'm sorry that I don't have this on a screen, but imagine 2 lines just for me for a moment. So I want you to just imagine a binary, if you will, for a moment. If you've got 13,330, it's a weird number, I get it, but 13,334 volume points or more, and then 13,300 volume points or more, when those 2 lines hit 13,300 or more, it's what they call optimize. That's a $2,000 base paycheck. So you get $2,000 plus there's a bonus right now. That bonus is paying us roughly $450 to $500 extra. The first time you do it, you get another income position so you can re-enter your business underneath your own organization, and you get another line wide that you can build. Okay. So if you go wide, here's what's fun. So 2 lines, $2,000 plus a $500 bonus. If you go build 1 more line, it's another $2,000 plus another about $500 bonus. If you go build 1 more line, it's another $2,000 a week. This is all weekly, by the way, plus another about $1,000 bonus. If you build another line, it's another $2,000 a week plus about a $1,500 bonus. If you go deep and build 2 lines under here, it's another $2,000 a week plus about a $1,000 bonus. So you can either go down or you can go wide, or you can do both. So you can go infinitely wide or infinitely deep. So now back to your question about carryover. Let's say you've got 10,000 volume points on line 1 and 5,000 volume points on line 2. You're going to be paid 15% of the lesser volume line or lines. It would take 5,000 from the 10. The 10 would, the 5 would carry over. You'd start with 5 the next week. If you're blowing volume out your line, which I've got a friend that's got an Italian team that's doing about $3 million in sales a week right now. Okay. And these are really close to accurate numbers. Okay. So I'm not one of these guys that exaggerate stuff. Okay. In fact, I'm going to under exaggerate, if that makes any sense. I don't know what the right word is. I'm going to be very conservative. So he's got ridiculous amounts of volume in this line, and he's only making $2,000 a week in base pay. But in match pay, he's roughly $10,000 a week, because all of them are making money. So ultimately you want people in your, and it doesn't matter if it's your greater volume line or any lesser volume line, you're getting that match pay no matter where they are. So all of a sudden, Vanessa, my sponsor doesn't care that I'm in his greater volume line and making more volume than he needs, because his income just keeps going up and up and up, because I'm helping more people make money, and they're helping more people make money. And so he's making more money. Make sense?
Yes. And I'm even more excited. So yes, I love it.
When you wrap your mind around our pay structure, it is, I will tell you this, it's confusing at first, but I always tell people this. Do you want a simple comp plan that keeps you out of the money and only pays a few? Or do you want a little bit more complex money that pays you early, that pays you consistently, and that pays you without limitations? To me, it's simple, right? Like I want the latter. I don't need to understand it because they pay me whether I understand it or not. But I don't want a comp plan that is designed for attrition and to keep me out of the money and make me jump through all these hoops, because here's this money. I mean, you see these things where, like, literally, my mom has a position in our business. My mom's 83 years old. My dad died of a stroke just a few months ago. And my mom has never got a customer. My mom has never sponsored a rep. My mom has not missed a paycheck in 3 years weekly.
So that is awesome, and I cannot wait to your comp plan training. I will definitely be on there and have as many people as I can. But there's 2 other questions, and Jane and Raj actually answered them for us earlier, but I haven't had a chance to get it out to people. But everybody's just scrambling to get people signed up. So one of them is about the spouse, about if you could sign your spouse up, so if you could go ahead.
No, you can't sign your spouse up. I know. Sounds great, but the answer to that is no. Sorry.
So if your spouse got on the platform, the social platform, and so
that's a whole different deal.
Okay, then that volume that they sell will still go in underneath me.
Yeah. So again, I'm going to give you to the best of my knowledge right now. What would happen is Vanessa, let's say you've got your social platform, but your husband has his social platform, and you said, hey, I'm going to buy this bottle. I'm going to share it with you. You buy it. You start sharing it. Gotcha. You would make. Yes, ma'am. And you would get all that volume.
All right. And the next thing, which Jane actually answered, but for the other people out there that did not hear, is the other question we had is when we're signing up, a lot of people have a personal, plus they also have an LLC or corporate, a business. And a lot of times they will flow the business up to their personal. And because if they ever sold their business, at least they would still have a spot there with their downline and everything. So can you have a personal spot and a business spot if you have your EIN number?
No, you can put it in a business, but you can't have 2 positions.
Okay.
You can earn multiple positions, like I was talking about. Uh-huh. So I believe with what you're like seriously, Vanessa, just with what you're doing, literally the day that we launch, you'll have already earned a 2nd position.
Okay. So
and I'm not discounting anybody else. So please don't take that in an offensive way at all, because I don't know who most of you I don't know. But for those of you that are pre-launching and building, there's a really good chance that many of you will optimize your business with 2 lines the first day that everybody says, hey, I'm in, we're doing this. So you'll automatically get a 2nd position that you can place in your own organization somewhere and start to build a 2nd position, which then flows up to the 1st position. So basically now you're double dipping on your own efforts, but everybody squeezed in between gets to count that volume from your 2nd efforts. Does that make sense?
Yes. So when they give you that 2nd position, can you put that in your business? Or
oh, yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
So like we have a couple of people who they want to come in with their businesses, and they have partners. So would you say just them come on in with their LLC, make money through that, and then as they earn extra positions, then they can come in and put their personal in those spots?
Sure. It's the same, right? The LLC will. So if they get rid of the LLC, it becomes a personal. If it was a personal and they want to put it in an LLC, I mean, it's potato kind of deal.
Okay, well, that's pretty much all the questions I have that was pertinent for us to get everything lined up here and people signed up. But if anybody else has any questions, I guess if they want to unmute and ask. Thank you, Aaron, for answering those.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. My pleasure.
Aaron, I do have we'll talk offline about the LLC. Taylor, I talked to Taylor today and we can get.
I think there's a misunderstanding there. So I would definitely want to clarify before we say anything about that.
Okay, let's do that. And there's some questions in the chat.
Go ahead.
Okay. How do people get pre-positioned? How do people get positioned? What does that entail?
Okay. You can answer that. That's easy.
Okay. Well, here's what we need. Essentially, we need a name, phone number, address, email. We're just positioning you in the MLM structure. It's an inactive account until you activate it. So once you activate it, then you could work both sides. Or if you don't activate it, that's fine. When the app rolls out, then you'll get access to the app and you can work the app piece of the business. And that's up to you. You could decide what to do at that point in time. But right now, no risk, no cost, no obligation.
I will quantify this because I know some of you are going to, at least I'm just assuming, maybe I shouldn't assume, but if some of you, let's put it that way, want to start to learn more about the network marketing side and say, hey, I just want to qualify my business right now, we're going to do a Zoom that shows you what to do, how to do it if you want to, because you don't have to wait. But what we're not going to do is make you make that decision until everything is official. So I just want to clarify that. So you guys are in a sweet spot. Like, you are total control because you've given up nothing but name, phone number, email address, and address, right? Like, we could get that out of the phone book, right? So that holds a spot. That spot you can activate now. You can activate later when the platform launches, and you'll have, from the time that the platform launches officially, you'll have 30 days to make up your mind. Obviously, first movers are going to have first advantage.
Aaron, also talk about maybe you're going to Utah next week, right?
Yes.
And you're going to get a presentation.
Yes.
Okay. So talk about that. Talk about why there's a sense of urgency now, because you're not going to be the only person.
So this ultimately might come back to bite me in the tail a little bit, but a lot of people are focused on other things right now. And so Dr. Fred Cooper, who's the developer of this, he's really smart. And my wife and I were out there a few weeks ago, and we spent 3 hours with him, and he kind of showed us kind of phase one, which is what we're talking about, and where he's headed. Past a lot of times proves present. Fred has been extremely successful in the ventures that he's taken on. Extremely. This is not something that he's hoping will work. He's got a lot of time, effort, and money. I mean, you don't spend the money and the time that it takes to do what he's put together. And so I started talking about it a little bit, and quite honestly, I'm going to give the credit to Raj and Jane and Tammy, because they came and their idea was, hey, is there a way that we could figure out how to do a pre-launch? And so I went to some people and just said, hey, is this possible? And so this is what started to happen. So this group right now that you're a part of currently in the world, in our company, is the only group that is able to do what we're talking about, which is get a spot with no social security number and no credit card, no cash, nothing. So we're able to build an entire organization pre-launch, and you don't have to make a decision until we launch. After everybody else starts to really put what I showed you together, I mean, these are professional networkers. When there's a group of us that are going out there, I can't believe that none of them would want to at least start to talk about this and start to kind of like go, right? Like it's pretty hard to be quiet about it once it starts to click. And the only reason very few of them have gone through the whole thing. And so they've been focused on building our traditional business, because we got tremendous growth. I mean, our company doubled last year. I mean, our personal business more than doubled last year. So it's been a very busy season. It's not like we've been slow looking for something to make the thing go faster. It's been going fast. This just goes hyper speed. And so there's a sense of urgency for me personally to get this out there, because I know that people know people know people. Heck, just in the last 2 days, I can't tell you the people that I've talked to that are like neighbors with somebody else that owns a company that I just talked to a week ago. It's like ridiculous. Like, it's a really small world, right? And so there is literally a sense of urgency. If you're somebody that says, hey, listen, I would rather err on the side of just getting people positioned, and if they don't want to do it, God bless them. But ask yourself this question: did anything that you just heard resonate with you even a little bit? And if the answer is yes, I would go find anybody and everybody that I could, and I'd put them in, and we'll sort them out later. If they don't want to do it, that's okay. Raj, you're muted if you're talking.
Oh, no.
Or you're just heads in the stars.
That's right. I'm in outer space over here. No, it's fantastic. I appreciate that. Do we have any other questions?
I do.
I see one. I see a couple.
Julie's got a question.
Are there? Okay, go ahead. Whoever has a question.
Julie, go ahead.
Can you hear me okay?
Kind of, but I'll
Can you hear me better now?
good enough. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I don't know why me going to the computer is helping, but it does.
It's the distance between us. I have a couple of questions. I want clarity so I can speak to people halfway intelligently about this. You've been in this business for, what'd you say, 8 years? 10
Yes,
years?
ma'am. 8 years.
But you're saying this is a pre-launch. Is it that you're merging with another company and that's the pre-launch? Could you clarify that for me?
I'm going to clarify that, and that's a fantastic question. Let me do that one first, okay? So I don't forget it. The pre-launch is this platform,
Oh,
and so because this platform is going to be exclusive to this company, they are actually allowing us to do a pre-launch inside a company that's 10 years old that's doing about $580 million. So again, I don't know of any company that's ever done anything like this, but we're doing it. So that clarifies that.
Which company are you referring to?
Our company is called New Age RX.
and that's the company that's been around for 8 years.
So our company RX has been around for 10 years. New Age is 4.5 years old. New Age was more of a beverage company that ended up purchasing Mirinda and Noni. And so they were that's how they got back into the network marketing space. Our company recently did a reverse merger with them, which made us a publicly traded company and got access to the Chinese license because China quit giving licenses out 2 years ago. And so we merged everything together just recently, about a month and a half ago, officially. So we are actually publicly traded. Our stock symbol is N as in Nancy, B as in boy, E as in Edgar, and V as in Victor, NBEV. I am not giving stock advice, but I can tell you that I've mentioned that to people. One in particular that, I mean, I could mention dozens, but Jane has a friend who comes out of that world. She looked it up and she purchased some stock that day. And she's extremely happy just in a matter of about 8 weeks with the return. The stock right now is trading roughly about $2.90. About 3 months ago, it was trading at about $1.75. I tend to believe that you're going to see an incredible spike in that. That's my opinion. I'm not giving stock advice because of our company, RX, ran a very profitable company. New Age, they were in the beverage industry. So they recently sold. They owned Nestea. They owned Evian Water. They sold those brands out. So they're leaning that out. And you're going to see first quarter, especially second quarter, how our profitability and the stock exchange is really going to like our numbers. So for those that dabble in that, probably a good investment. I know I'm heavily invested personally because I'm part of the company growing. Now, all of that isn't even taking into consideration what I believe that this new platform is going to do. I think it's going to put us into a whole other world.
Yeah, I understand better now because the company is excited because this platform is going to help the company expand even more exponentially.
Yes, ma'am.
I get that. Okay, so the next thing has to do with the numbers. What you showed us, that's a lot of money being paid out to a lot of people. So I want to understand where all this money is coming from, and it has to be from everybody making all the purchases, correct?
Correct. So watch. So this is really simple. Have you ever bought a box of cereal? Okay.
Yeah.
Like Kellogg's or whatever, right? So let's just use Kellogg's, Frosted Flakes, Fruit Loops, whatever those things are. Okay. I haven't had cereal for years. It makes me hungry. Okay. Cocoa Puffs, whatever, right? So a box of cereal back, and this is several years ago, cost about 43 cents to make. It sells for about $4.50. There's really only two costs in that: distribution and advertising. Okay. So look at the margin. That's a 10x in there. Most products, I'll use an example. Lamas Beauty. Peter Lamas is a friend of mine. Lamas Beauty products, very, very well-known, high-end hair care, skin care, Hollywood, all that kind of stuff. He sells it all over the world. He's got retail outlets all over the world. there's about a 50% markup from wholesale to retail. So if it's a $20 bottle of shampoo, that store bought it for 10, they sold it for you for 20. They kept the 10. That's how they got to pay the overhead. This platform, I buy that same bottle of shampoo. They still get their same $10. The other $10 went through that platform and is distributed accordingly. And again, remember, I'm gonna tell you how the math works. So let's just say that there was $10 there. The first person that purchased that product would get 50% of the 10 or $5. So there's $5 left. The next person that you shared that with that bought, they get $5, you get $2.50. The next person would get $5, $2.50, $1.25. See, all I'm doing is generationally going down to a penny, which eats up the other $5 that's left. It's the same $10. It's just spread out amongst everybody. But everybody is purchasing because that's how they get involved in the chain. So each time a new purchase happens, it starts a new chain with a new $10 bill. Does that make sense? And so it's the same money. It's just distributed through you and I.
The algorithm, it still works out. Like I'm thinking, if they're paying out all this money, you don't want them to go under,
They
while
can't.
they're in the company.
And again, remember, the app does not manufacture, make nothing. It just transaction distributes the money. Llamas in this case still gets the $10 that they would have sold it to the retail store for. And if they would have sold it to the retail and only gave them $5, it doesn't see, the app doesn't care if it's only $5, $1, or $100. Whatever the margin of the product is, the margin of the product is. So the company that's putting their products through the app, they dictate what they need. They allow the app to distribute what would be that wholesale retail margin. Does that make sense? So it's not changing anything. We're not recreating any money. We're not using you. You don't have to buy into it. It's the product distributed a different way. Amazon, how do you think they made $1 trillion? It's the same thing, only they kept it all. Now you and I get to participate in that.
Last question. Thank you. That was beautiful. I understand that. So thank you. That was a great explanation. Here's my last question. If we know someone that owns a company and they produce a product, I already have a couple of people in mind that this would just blow their mind. How did they get their product into this?
Great question. And I'm gonna go back just a step because other people have a question before that question. So the question some people have is, well, I mean, how do I know there's going to be, different products? It's because of what you just said. Listen, there will be a separate platform for those companies ultimately. Now, of course, when we're beta testing, we're starting with just a few select. It's going to be with a select amount of people, beta test, make sure everything works. When this launches, there'll be a place where you're going to direct those company owners to. They can go on there. They'll enroll their company. The requirement for them is they must have obviously an internet presence with what's called an API, which most companies today do, which is just an interface that allows the company's computer systems to talk. And they're going to plug in, here's my product. I sell it. I want it sold retail for $20. I'm willing to give it to your platform for $10. You guys take care of the rest. Here's our image. These are the images that we want you to use or that you have access to use. So your company, that company would put their stuff in. It's not going to cost your company 1 penny to be a part of it because why? They want all of us marketing their stuff and they're sitting back. The biggest, I will tell you, it's not a fear, but I guess it could potentially be, is some of the companies, because a network marketing company, typically they've got some owners that have been around the industry, so they get a pretty decent prediction of what can happen with like this explosion wave momentum stuff. A lot of the companies that we're going to offer, like the alcohol product company, like I personally believe that that thing could explode to be an anomaly, right? Because there's nothing like it that exists in the world. There's not a product that exists. So my only, and it's not a fear, is they're going to have to be able to ramp up their production, or we'll probably have to shut that link down. And again, this is just my opinion, but I would imagine there's got to be a fail safe to slow down or shut the link down until production can catch back up. But I don't know a company, especially in the world that we live in today, that wouldn't like to handle that problem.
Thank you very much. And I just want you to know, I probably won't be sleeping tonight, thanks to you. Thank you.
I apologize, but thank you for the great questions.
So, Aaron, there is one question here. Dr. Colleen wants to know, Amazon charges a yearly fee and they ship it for free. So how do we compete with free shipping?
Okay, so somebody asked me that question earlier, and I'm going to give you my best answer. Keep in mind, the app doesn't ship. Okay? But if you start to look at the world we live in, the world we live in, those companies that we're going to start marketing for, more and more of them are already going to free shipping. But I'm going to answer it a different way. Even if they don't, are you going to go to Amazon and buy this water bottle for $20 because you get free shipping? Or are you going to go through me and pay a buck or two for shipping, but get paid back $2.50 and then be able to share it and make several hundred or thousands of dollars? Ultimately, this water bottle, they're probably going to figure out how to ship it for free. But you know what? Here's the deal. I mean, it is what it is. People are motivated. Most people, and listen, don't get me in the debate. It's the love of money that's evil, but most of us need money, right? And some of us are good people, and the more money you get, the more you can give and help others. So if I can make money by buying this and I wait a couple days and I had to pay a couple bucks to get it shipped, or I support Amazon and I buy stuff through Amazon. I don't believe in some of the stuff they're doing. That's personal opinion. I don't want to offend anybody, but that's my personal opinion. I'd rather have that money in your pocket and in my pocket and in my local community than going to somebody that's got more money than they'll ever know what to do with. And in many cases, I don't agree with what they're doing with it. But look at Walmart now. Walmart has free shipping. I mean, companies are going to free shipping. So I believe that that's a natural progression. I believe this expedites it, because if I can take your company and you go from $1 million a month in sales to $10 million a month in sales, you probably got a little extra revenue, and you might be creative and say, you know what, we'll give free shipping because this is really working out well. Again, totally my opinion, but guys, it's just a natural progression. But great question.
And you've saved a lot of money on marketing.
And you've saved a tremendous amount of money on marketing. And quite honestly, they can get creative, because remember, they could say, hey, we're going to sell this for $20 on Amazon with free shipping. We're going to sell it for $20 on this platform, free shipping. And instead of giving us a $10 margin, they only give us an $8 margin to work with, and they ship for free. Like, you guys, the math will always work for you and I. We can always win. Bill, you're giving me some good thumbs up and
That's
stuff.
it.
I like you. Bill, I like you.
No,
So
no. What you're saying, this is insane. My mind's being blown here. But exactly what you're saying. Maybe that company with the water bottle, instead of the $10 margin, they do an $8 margin. They pick up the $2 on the shipping. Any company that wants to get on this platform, and just like Raj says, the money they're going to save in advertising, believe me, companies will be begging us to get into this. Begging us.
They already
can
are.
pick up the shipping.
Yeah.
Their biggest issue. No, exactly. Their biggest issue may be having to fulfill all those orders instead of just going to a central warehouse and letting that warehouse. Big friggin' deal. They get a fulfillment house to handle that shit.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Bill.
That's it. Bam!
So I know the platform is for products, and I know
and or services.
Oh yes, that was my next thing. Listen, is awesome.
You guys, so here's the deal. This is just the beginning. Like let's just keep it at this, but I can tell you this is just the beginning. As Daddy once said, it just gets gooder and gooder. Chris?
Yes. You mentioned when you sign up with the MLM companies, they often have rules and regulations. And I know in several companies, it talks about, I think the term is cross recruiting and things of that nature. So what we're doing now is a pre-launch. So a company I'm familiar with, it's really hard to move people once you have them in. So is that going to be an issue with what you're doing, or?
Yeah. So with what you guys got going on,
get terminated if we make a mistake, because
yeah. So right now, here's the deal. None of you are going to cross recruit, but if we have to restructure, because again, everything is kind of on basically paper, right? And because we're doing something different and unique, we'll have the ability. Now, once everybody qualifies their business going forward, we can't go moving people around. That's not right. But right now, because I listen, I can't even coach you well enough, because if it's this, I promise you, I'm going to teach you a whole different way to build, because I am incentivized to maximize your check. Okay. I certainly don't want you guys all coming back and saying, Aaron, if you wouldn't have told us that, oh my gosh, So great question. But again, you guys, we're in this unique unknown territory, and it's still malleable because you're not officially in the system. You're just in a pre-launch tree, if you will.
Okay.
The day you give me your credit card and your social security number and activate that spot is the day I can't move you, and I can't change your sponsor either.
Okay. I just don't want to get terminated from my current company.
That's a fantastic
I love it.
That's a fantastic question.
Thank you very much.
So
A question on the Philippines. Are we open in the Philippines?
not currently.
Any projection on that?
Here's what I'll tell you. We're not in the Philippines currently. We are not in India. Africa, we currently do not do business in.
Canada?
Africa will start sometime in the next 6 months. And we'll start with South Africa, Nigeria, and then there's a few countries around South Africa and a couple smaller ones around Nigeria. I don't remember the names. I apologize. One starts with a B. What was the other question?
Canada?
Singapore.
I just heard two people. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Singapore.
Singapore, we can do business in. Yes.
Is it Botswana?
Botswana, yes, we can. Yes, that's the one. Thank you for that. China, we are in. Japan, we are in. South Korea, we are in. Taiwan, we are in. I don't believe Thailand is open. Most of South America, we are. And I say most. There's a few countries in South, like Venezuela, we currently are not. Obviously, there's some craziness going on there. And if you're from there, I don't mean that in a negative way. There's just some craziness going on there. Let's see, Mexico for sure. Canada for sure. Australia for sure. Ireland. Pretty much any country you name me in Europe, we are in. Israel, we are in. Where else is there? Is Alaska a country? No. So I mean, like you guys, we're in a lot of markets. There's a lot of exciting things coming, and I can also tell you, by the time this launches, now I'm getting a little deeper here, and I don't want to start a whole other rabbit trail, because I do got another thing I got to do here in about 10 minutes. But there's also a total revamp on our shopping experience. Now I'm talking about the network marketing side of our company for a moment, but like, it's going to be wicked cool. It is going to be a lot like an Amazon checkout, one-handed process, just with your thumb, 20 seconds. The customer can go on, check out. It's going to have the look, the feel. Customers who purchase this also got this, and this. It's going to have report or reviews on products. It's going to have shareable content that right out of there, like everything streamlined, simple. We just hired a social seller professional, not a network marketer. This is a guy. Has any of you guys ever seen the campaigns on social media for like Purple Mattress or Squatty Potty? If you have, they're amazing. This is the guy that created those. He's a master at creating those. He actually is the guy that invented and patented the one-handed 20-second checkout on your phone. He also has some other technologies that he's bringing to the table, and he's literally tasked with and right now currently working on building campaigns that are proven converters, both through social media, images, and videos. And once those are done, he's actually going to hand deliver them to us so we can use those to promote and market with. And they'll also have trainings to teach us how to do it if you don't know how to do TikTok or Twitter or Instagram or whatever it is. So, I mean, I'm only talking about just a couple things right here that'll change, but you have no idea what else is going on behind the scenes that is just going to go like, what? I don't even believe we're going to be called network marketing multi-level anymore. I believe it will be direct to consumer social selling, and not, again, no offense, but not, there's companies kind of saying that and they're just back to putting lipstick on a pig. We're actually now changing to, a horse, right? Or a cow or something, right? Like, we're no longer putting lipstick on anything. We're just moving in a whole other direction. I live in a ranch, so I use a lot of, analogies.
Can I ask one more question?
Yes, Teresa.
You said that we would be in this pre-launch and we would have this 30-day window, and within that 30 days is when we would need to determine if we're going to activate this account. What is the action required for this activation within
Great question.
30 days?
Great question. So you can activate now anytime up to the official launch. Once the official launch, so if you haven't activated before the official launch, you'll then have 30 days. Here's how that looks. $24.95 one time. Now it might, I don't even know. We might even be able to waive that. I don't know, but let's just go for what I know. $24.95, one time, lifetime, no renewals, nothing. You then buy or sell certain amounts of products. Right now we've got I'm going to give you round numbers. So $370 worth of product that you buy or sell, activate your business minimally. That locks you in at one of the ways that we get paid. It's like a fast starter or team lead bonus. They call it at 15% for life. For any new customer or teammate that purchases products, you're going to make a minimum 15% of any of their orders, up to $450 in your pocket in their first 4 weeks. Okay. Some of you say, you know what? I want to activate my business, but I want a better business level. That's roughly $750 worth of products that you purchase, buy or sell, or through customer purchases, any combination. That's going to lock you in at 20%. About $1,400 worth of products bought or sold, any combination, lock you in at 25%. About $2,100 worth of products bought or sold anytime in your first 4 weeks, that locks you in at 30%. All of those are locked in for life. Never have to requalify again for that. Going forward from that point, the only requirement that you have is to buy or sell $150 worth of products once every 4 weeks. There is no other requirements. You are not required to sponsor one on your left, one on your right, active on your left, active on your right. None of that mess. You then sell a product to a customer or a rep. You get paid the same 15 to 30% on those initial orders. And then the next pay is what we just explained, kind of the 2 lines base pay. And then from there, the match pay. And then there's some other bonuses involved. Great question. Thank you.
So if some of us go ahead and activate now, and we've sent this list in, to Raj, is that going to mess up how we are?
No.
All right.
What we're going to do is I'll sit down with Raj and we'll look at everything. And Vanessa, I can sit down with you and we'll structure stuff. And so if you want to activate, and what I'm going to do is when I'm out there, because there's only from a certain point down. So it's not like disrupting any of Jane's other business or anything. This is kind of, we moved this whole thing aside. So we'll still be able to, if I say, oh my goodness, you've activated, and you built 2 lines, but you should have built 3, we can still adjust and adapt a little bit because we're still in that time frame of a quote unquote pre-launch. But of course, we'd love you to experience the products, because here's the deal: the products work. I'm going to turn into a network marketer just for a moment if I can, right? I apologize, but these products, I've worked with people for the last 8 years. And I know a lot of you have probably been in a lot of great product companies. I have never, Jane can probably testify, seen so many transformations that lasted. I've seen lots of people lose. I mean, you can lose weight on a beer and chocolate diet if you want to, but I've not seen so many people literally get healthy and stay healthy and improve year over year over year. And I mean, we all have great stories, but it's been magnificent. The other thing that I love is every one of our products. Vanessa, if you bought everything that we owned tonight, you tried them, you don't like them, you use them for 30 days, use them up, send them back, get 100% of your money back. No questions asked. Listen, they don't play. It's like, you don't have to, send in the postman's first name and his thumbprint, and your kid's last name and his birth certificate to get your money back. It's like, if you don't like them, we don't want you to be a part of something that you're not happy with. That's how much we believe in our products.
Which leads me to, I think, my last question. How is your customer service, and do you have live phone support?
Here is, okay. Raj, were you on the phone when I did that? Who was on the phone when I did that?
When you did what?
Okay, you must have not been. So I had, it was actually, I was talking to a couple of the ladies from another company that they weren't happy with, and they had a large team, and that was a question they had. Now it's 10 o'clock at night, so probably not going to work right now. And I literally did this. I had them pull up their phone, call 855-GO-ARIIX. I said, just call that number. When they answer, just say, hey, I think her name was Heather. Hey, this is Heather. You don't know me, but I'm on a Zoom with Aaron, and he said that you guys have good customer support. And all I did is just listen. And you will find we have the best customer support in the industry. Not only are they live, they're empowered. Do you know that, Vanessa, if you called up our customer support and you say, listen, I just spent $2,100 on products and the bag of shake exploded all over my products. You know what I've seen them do? No problem. Vanessa, we're going to send you out a new order. Don't worry about sending that one back. If you want, you can wipe those products off and keep them, but we want you happy. You guys, they are empowered to make decisions. They don't have to go through 17 layers of people to be able to help you and I out. They are on it. They are empowered. They help us. If you can call them up and say, hey, listen, this is Vanessa. I got 18 people to put in the system, and I just don't want to take the time on the computer. I'm on the road. Can you help me a minute? Absolutely, Vanessa. They will spend as much time as they need to help you organize and get through what you want to get through. I promise you guys, call them tomorrow. You call up 855-GO-ARIIX and you say, hey, Aaron Decker told me to call you to see if you're a real person. Honestly, I don't care if you all call.
And is it like Monday through Friday service?
Monday through Friday service. It's Mountain Time. We do have in some instances some expanded hours. And then I will also tell you that as you get to a higher title, they actually have like an executive support. And so let's say you said, Aaron, I've got 10 people that need to get in on Friday night, midnight, or on a holiday weekend, or on Saturday or Sunday. You can call me and I can connect you to them, and they'll still work with you because we've got actually we got access to almost 24/7, but just not everybody does yet. We'll expand that, but we've got rocking customer support. The other thing is this. Let's say that you're running for a title or something like that, and something happened and it didn't get in. They're not going to say, nope, sorry. They'll work with you, right? Like they work with us, you guys, I promise you. That is the one thing. I'll put our customer support against any customer support on the planet. Hands down.
You have no idea what that means to me.
It means everything because, and here's the deal. I say this in front of our owners all the time. In fact, and I know this is recorded, and that's okay. I think I helped get some of them get a raise and a promotion because they are so good. Because here's my opinion. I don't care about the executives and I don't care about the field. If we don't have an amazing customer support, we don't have a business. Because if my customers or my new teammates call in and they get treated like crap or they can't get a real person, they're going to quit. And if they quit, it doesn't matter what the executives are. We can have all the tools in the world. But if that middle piece of the wagon doesn't roll around, and if that cog in the wheel is not strong and firm, either side doesn't get to win. But if you've got a customer support that treats you good like a human being with respect and is very helpful, you hang up, even on a bad day, you're like, man, that went better than I thought, right? And you're like, fantastic. They helped me work through that problem, that issue. Yes, they are amazing.
Awesome.
So, all right, guys, I do got to jump off. I apologize. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you. I look forward to working with all of you. And we're going to set up more and more of these things so we can get this thing rocking and rolling, okay?
Appreciate it, Aaron.
Thank you.
God bless. Have a good night. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Aaron.
Bye.